So burnout doesn't just impact the relationships you have with your kids or your family or even yourself. Burnout actually impacts your brain. And let me tell you how. What burnout does is it activates your sympathetic nervous system. It activates your flight, fight, or freeze response. When that happens, what that really means is that you are in the presence of danger. You do not feel safe at all. And so your body is preparing for battle. Now look, we're all built for short-term stress. Human beings are really good at short-term stress. Actually, animals are really good at short-term stress. And what you see in animals, to use them as an example, I remember watching this video, and there was this cheetah carrying its cub. And off in the distance, it saw a lion. Then all of a sudden, you saw that the cheetah's body completely changed. It got really tight, stressed, low to the ground, and it starts kind of crawling. A few minutes later, the lion is no longer in sight. And the cheetah stands back up, shakes it off, and now looks like it was back to normal, the way it looked before the threat was there. But we don't react to threat that way. Right? We don't oftentimes just shake it off. Maybe the best of us who can deal with stress really well will go and exercise, and that's their sort of version of shaking it off. But a lot of the stresses that we face, especially when we're burnt out, they're chronic. They're not acute stress that we are built to deal with. These are long-term stressors. That's how society has evolved. Bills are long-term stressors, right? Certain family dynamics can be long-term stressors. Jobs can be long-term stressors. Feeling that you constantly need to produce in order for you to achieve a goal or maybe just even survive. That is a long-term stress. The impact that has on your body and your brain is devastating. So when you are under chronic stress, first of all, that's going to increase your blood pressure, right? You've got to make sure that you're providing enough blood to your muscles, because that way you can either fight, run, or potentially just freeze. Well, your body's not necessarily making extra blood. It's taking blood away from places. One of the places that it's going to take blood away from is your gut, right? So you're not able to digest food the right way. How many people who are burnt out, and maybe they may not even know that they're burnt out, but how many people who are working long hours, working really, really hard, have GI or digestive issues? It's a lot. And they don't recognize it as a symptom of burnout. They're probably just like, oh, that food I ate wasn't so good. I eat like crap. Or my doctor says I have irritable bowel syndrome, or I'm being worked up for inflammatory bowel syndromes. Maybe you're just burnt out. And as a result, your body's diverting blood flow away from your GI tract. When your blood pressures are high, because you're constantly in this fight or flight or freeze response, puts you at risk for heart attacks, puts you at risk for strokes. Over a long period of time, your brain does not tolerate high blood pressure. It doesn't tolerate high blood sugar either. It doesn't tolerate it well. The smallest blood vessels in your brain don't handle high blood pressure well at all. And we can see how that manifests when we take pictures of people's brains. There are certain areas that are just not getting enough blood flow, and they start to become injured over time. If that injury is mild, maybe it's not a big deal. But if it becomes moderate or sort of maximized, then people start developing headaches. They start developing memory problems. They start developing dizziness. Man, you can even develop seizures or epilepsy as a result. Your body, in response to stress, will also release cortisol. Cortisol is the main stress hormone. And as a result, what does cortisol do? It makes you focus on the stressor, focus on the threat. And now you may think that that's not really a big deal, but cortisol kills neurons. Cortisol kills nerve cells in the parts of the brain responsible for you making new memories. That means that you're not able to even experience the joys in life because all you are is focused on the threats. Is that really the way that you want to live your life? Not being able to enjoy the time with your loved ones, your time with your spouse or your children because you're constantly focused on work. you're constantly focused on your bills or whatever things got you all burnt out and stressed out, that's certainly not the way that I want to live.